Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Hisessions Hawaii podcast, where we talk about everything local and beyond. I'm John Yamasato, your host, and joining me today is Kyle Shimabukuro.
How's it?
Devon Nekoba.
I didn't realize we were wearing shirts today.
Oh. Well, you know,
I didn't get the note about the costumes.
I can get you a shirt, like a different color podcast.
I should have wore my shirt.
Yeah.
I have my Hisessions shirt.
Then I would have looked even
No,
worse.
but I like that shirt, and it looks good on you, too.
That does look good.
Yeah. All right, okay. Before we begin, well, I'll introduce you in a second. Before we begin, let me remind the listeners of all the ways they can stay in touch with the show. There's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at Hisessions. You can go to SoundCloud, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts to listen to the podcast. And then finally, you can email us at hisessions@yahoo.com. You can go to Patreon to help the show. No new patrons in the last couple weeks.
Well,
Kinda
we also
sad, too.
haven't done a show.
Yeah, I know. But usually what happens is we get the patrons when we're not posting stuff. I don't know why.
Because they miss you.
Yeah,
They want to see what they're missing.
I think they want to keep us off. And they keep
Yeah.
stay off
Can we
there.
just pay them to not do
Yeah.
it?
No more episodes. We'll keep giving you money.
I'd like to thank Kupu Kupu Landscaping, Landscape Architects. You can call Kevin Yokomura, 808-722-8685 for a free estimate. Man,
Let's give that phone number again. And you want my glasses? The readers.
722-8685. 8s and 6s are starting to look the same to me. Similar with 5s.
Try these on. They're readers.
The readers?
Yeah.
What is the magnification?
1.5.
Oh, yeah, this is what my doctor said. Oh, yeah, this is so clear now.
Okay, look how groovy you look.
Wow.
You look like a sexy old Jewish man. I love this.
Look at this.
Dad?
Yeah.
You have to watch this on YouTube so you can get the
Landscape
full
Architects.
effect
That
of
was
John wearing those
amazing how
glasses.
clear that
Don't
got.
forget your Patreon to see that in the end.
At Fort Ruger Market, I broke down this week. I got the poke.
Yeah.
But it's been over a month. So we were telling Tory, who I'll introduce in a second. So Kyle's
He's talking through the whole
his
thing.
mercury level was super high. Mine was kind of high. So we're both off fish, but I broke down.
That's amazing.
It's been
You got it
it's been
anyway.
over a month already. Okay.
I'm going to interrupt you real quick, just because we're on that topic.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Tory, everybody. Good to be back on the show. But I'll be introduced in a second. Is my best friend, one of my best friends, had such severe mercury poisoning that from just eating nothing but pounds and pounds of raw fish, he lost like 70 pounds. He looked like he was going to die. And so he had to stop eating the fish.
Why was he losing so much weight, though?
Because he got some sort of crazy mercury poisoning from eating so much sushi.
So the mercury just...
You know what it is?
Eat away
Wrecked
and
wrecked
no,
his life.
Like lose weight. Just,
it
It's a
keeps
good diet.
It didn't work for me.
You're not eating enough.
No, because it's the liver. It affects your liver, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah. Your
so-
organs shut down, right?
Yeah. So
Like, he looked sickly. And it was crazy.
Is he okay now?
Yeah, he's fine. Now, there's like maybe 9 years ago or something.
Can he eat fish again, though?
Yes, but not as much.
Yeah.
But he can. He eats it. He just doesn't like obsess over it.
Well, it's one of these things like I don't know if you guys saw the article, but they found like microplastics in like every person's testes
We're all gonna,
and
dude,
stuff,
we're all
and it's
gonna
just
die.
like it's just everywhere.
It's preserving us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully. Some of us.
I mean, it's just one of these things. Like no matter what you eat, there's something in it
Yeah.
that's messing.
Okay,
with you.
you're not done yet.
Yeah, finish.
All right, okay.
Sorry, I won't interrupt anymore. Hey, I'm Tory. Welcome back to the show.
You can find Devon at 94.7 in the morning, Kumu, and highlifeclothing.com to find Kyle. Okay, so now our guest.
Oh, don't tap table.
Yeah,
that was like a drum roll. That was a drum roll, though. That was a drum roll.
Yeah, that's
So-
I did that on purpose.
So one of our favorite guests, Mr. Tory Mell, is back on the podcast.
Yeah.
Tory is just all things pop culture.
Yes.
And so I actually wanted him on the podcast maybe a month ago, but we had scheduling. Well, I didn't even reach out, but we had scheduled already. And
We had
then
a scheduling conflict. I didn't call you, but I knew you were busy doing nothing, working on my beautiful hair.
no. So in any case, the reason why is because we're into the summer movie market,
Yeah.
Yes.
and I wanted to get his thoughts on some of the movies that are coming out, so we can kind of preview for people what they should be going to see, what they should avoid, all that kind of stuff. But
Some of the ones they avoided already, like Ghostbusters 15.
well,
or
the
whatever.
sad one.
Frozen Empire
Yeah.
was a bum out.
Oh really? I didn't see. I see. Okay, so just to let you know,
Wait, we're going back. We're gonna shit on all of the
Yeah,
movies
back
that came
when
out.
Ben-Hur came out, real piece of shit, that movie.
oh yeah, I should give the disclaimer that this will be. We have the explicit lyrics thing.
Yeah.
on our-
Specifically for Tory.
but
That's right. It's the token white guy who swears a lot because my vocabulary is very small. Although they say that people that do swear a lot have a bigger
intelligent.
very
Yeah.
intelligent.
IQ.
Yeah, I couldn't even say that.
Yeah.
I am dumb as shit, and I have a small vocabulary, but I do like to swear. So
Yeah. So just if the kids are listening, just know
Yeah.
today will be extra f-bombs.
if the kids are listening, then they're going to learn things that they're going to be saying anyways. It's important, and this is what
Yeah.
I've taught both of my children, who are now 17 and 10, boy and girl.
Wow, 17 now.
17 Finnegan. He's going to be he's a senior.
Be
next
senior,
year.
yeah.
He's going off to it's called College Horizons. It's a indigenous program for students of indigenous whether it's
cultures, yeah.
Native American, Hawaiian, or Alaskan. You got to apply for this program. They only take like 100 or some 300 kids out of like 10,000 that apply, and they go to a college that's like housing them this year, where the College Horizons is. So he's going to UPenn next week, and they help work on different colleges that you can go to, different colleges that support Native ancestry.
Oh, nice.
So you can get like the most bang for your buck, and get the most scholarships and learn. And they help you go through the applications and do the financial aid
What
thing.
is it called again?
College Horizons, amazing program that's been around for a long time. So anyone,
Who has native ancestry?
you should look it up, and you
Interesting.
should send your kids.
What does
if
Finnegan
you have
want to?
the
What does Finnegan want to be?
My lover, and he's going to learn really well. No, he doesn't know. Like, he just recently was like kind of accepting wanting to go to college, because he's like, I don't know if I really want to go to college, because there's some things in life you don't need to go to college for.
Right.
Yeah.
And since we're an entertainment family, it's like you don't need to go to college to be in entertainment. If you want to work in film,
Just go work on a set.
I'll go get you a job anywhere.
Yeah.
And you start as a PA and work your way up. Where the kid that graduated from USC Film School with a master's and da.
It's
he's
also
going to
gonna
start as a PA,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you're going to be his boss in 4 years. You know, so. So he's not sure, but he loves writing. He loves psychology. He reads all the time. So
That's great.
He's a
Wow.
fucking nerd. I tried to make him a sport guy, but he's nerded.
You're gonna love what you're gonna love. Yeah.
Totally. So so he's off to do that. I don't know how
what do
he
you guys think about this idea that, especially in your fields, right?
Yeah.
Entertainment and AI is going to be really affecting those.
There is a because I love to doom scroll on all the social medias. On Instagram, there's a dude that I follow, and I forget his name because I just don't care. But he always, powerful websites you should know is like his like tagline. And he just showed one, and I saved it because I want to use it just to see what it's like. Is you could put in a prompt, like a dog fucking a can of Coke. Probably not.
Yeah.
AI doesn't let you do like vulgar stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird. So a dog drinking a can of Pepsi, right? And you type that prompt in, and it'll make an animation of a dog eating or drinking a Pepsi. And you just type in the prompt.
Yeah.
And then you can put in a picture of like 4 dudes sitting at a table and like smashing their heads into the microphones, and the AI will make an animation of that.
I just saw on Twitter they showed. I don't know if you guys know the meme of Will Smith eating spaghetti.
It's the funniest thing in the world.
So
What?
AI. Okay.
Yeah.
So
How it evolved.
like a
Yeah.
year ago, they had AI do type in Will Smith eating
This was
spaghetti.
pre-slapped.
And pre-slap.
Pre-slap.
Yeah. And then it
Back
showed.
when Will Smith was still a hero
That's
to
right.
the people.
Yeah.
That's right. And it was kind of funky. Like the noodles were going through his hands. It wasn't going into his
He wasn't
mouth.
there
It looked
yet.
all weird. His face was all. And now it looks pretty realistic. I mean, it's still not 100%.
So it's the same animation, just now.
Well,
they
it's
cleaned
just
it
the
up.
AI's gotten better over a year. So there's just showing.
AI is going to do for film what YouTube did for creators, right? So in the before times, you had to have talent to become an actor or luck, but you still had to work at a craft to be an actor, a singer, whatever your industry of entertainment may be, an athlete, right? Maybe not so much athlete now, but now with YouTube, I don't have to grind and go to a club, right? Post Malone became Post Malone because Spotify exists. That's it. He was talented, but if this was the 80s, we never would have found Post Malone, right? So everyone has access to show the world their talent.
He would have had to have gone a different route.
100%, but it would have been still nearly impossible, because think about today, how many people have like hit songs that aren't just one-hit wonders, that are like, or that are one-hit wonders, but like you never would have heard because that didn't exist.
Yeah.
There was no
like
mass.
jelly roll.
Yeah, like what's a jelly roll, right?
Yeah.
But we know that name, whereas in the 80s, you never would have known jelly roll because there's no
Well,
avenue for
I
jelly
only
roll.
know Dance Monkey because of Fortnite.
Half the stuff, but so Fortnite, right? All those songs that end up on Fortnite are all because some random like bozo had a lucky meme or something that came out, and so what it's going to do, AI is going to do for film now is me who wants to be a filmmaker, and I can't have Will Smith and Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie star in a movie, but now I could make that movie, or I mean almost make that movie with the three of them, and they're in a sci-fi, Nazi propaganda movie, and the AI will make it perfectly, and then it all becomes how do they make money and how do they not get sued?
You know what's interesting when I look at AI? Like, it looks so real, but it looks too perfect to be real.
Totally.
So what AI has to do is step back a little bit and put imperfections in to make it look human.
Totally. But that's what happened with like all the 4K stuff. So when you start shooting in 4K, do you guys shoot in 4K here?
No, maybe, I don't know.
So if you're shooting it, so standard definition or HD, which is like 1080p, right?
Yeah.
You didn't see people's flaws, right?
Yeah,
Everyone looked,
flawless.
they were fine.
Smooth skin.
Well, you could see like the stuff, or maybe they look smoother. But when 4K came out, that quality of definition, you saw every single pore in every single person's face. So they had to create a new way of doing makeup to like flatten it out.
To smooth it out.
I'll give you a little secret. So if you watch the movie Bullet Train,
Best movie
with Brad Pitt,
Yep.
Great movie.
Yep.
At the end, there's an explosion and he's flying through the air. And
Did you just give away the whole movie?
Yeah, great.
'Cause I didn't
Thanks,
watch it.
John.
that doesn't
Thanks,
spoil
John.
anything.
Yeah, Bruce Willis is a ghost and Jay Davidson's a girl or dude. I don't know. Yeah.
No. So he's flying through the air, and then it's a kind of a close-up shot on his face. You can actually see they were getting rid of his bags under his eyes. You can see it moving with his face. They didn't do a good job.
Yeah, because the cameras are so good now, and the way they shoot everything, and it's so fun. Is last night my son and I watched. I just turned 50 a week ago. My mind's been failing forever, but we watched.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Yeah, happy birthday.
June 10th. My daughter and I share the same
happy
birthday.
Oh.
Yeah, so she turned 10, I turned 50. I almost said 40. That would have been nice.
Yeah,
But
my birthday's the day after yours.
Happy birthday! That's my best friend who
There you
got
go.
the Jules, who got the mercury poisoning. That's his birthday. It's the 11th.
okay.
Oh.
There you go.
But we watched. He wanted to watch an old action movie last. I can't believe I don't remember what movie.
What was
we
it? What
watched.
was it? What was happening?
28 Days Later.
Oh, yeah, great
Or
movie.
28 Days Later. Yeah, but it's shot. Danny Boyle shot on film, and I'm like, you notice that this is shot on film. He's like, oh, is that why it's all grainy? And I'm like, yeah, because it has that film quality. Whereas if you watch Bullet Train and any movie today, it's just like crystal clear.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that old
Right,
movie.
right.
It's crazy that 28 Days Later is a old film now. The movie's 20 years old.
Yeah. Well, they're doing 28 years later.
28 years later with
Yeah.
the whole cast.
Really?
Same cast?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because
Whoever didn't die.
well, so Cillian Murphy is still alive. I don't know if the other two that were with him in the movie are going to be in it, but yeah, he's still alive in the film. So
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think about the other day, I was talking to my daughter about a song that I'm like, oh, this song was popular, and then I thought, this is a 30-year-old song. And like Dumb and Dumber's 30 years old.
we just watched. Brooke and I watched Bratz on Hulu.
Oh, what did you think?
I thought that Andrew McCarthy. I loved it because I was part of the. I loved the Brat Pack.
Yeah.
Like that was.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
grew up then. That was
Yeah.
like our thing. I think what he was looking for, I don't think he found, and I think it made him like seem like kind of a whiny bitch.
Oh.
That's what people are saying.
And I loved him, and I still think he's great, but it's like everyone seemed to be fine with it, and I think he was looking. In case you guys don't know, on Hulu, there's a show called a documentary that Andrew McCarthy made called Bratz about the Brat Pack.
Okay.
And so he interviews like most of them, but I think he was looking for them to all be like, it ruined our fucking lives, and I can't believe they called us that, and it was bull-. But they kind of were like, it's fine, but then also here we are 40 years later, and people know you for that.
Yeah.
And at no time when we were kids watching it, the fans that made them who they are, at no time did I ever think, and I was 11 years old when the Brat Pack name came out, June 10th, 1985. So it was my birthday and day before yours.
yeah.
But at no point did I ever think that they were calling these kids brats. I thought it was
Right,
a play
right,
on the
right.
Rat Pack, who I knew as an 11-year-old,
Right.
and that they were the new generation.
And they were just young.
Which
That's why they
is
were
true.
different.
Yeah.
Which is what they were.
Totally.
Yeah.
And so internally, he, I guess the article was written about Emilio Estevez.
Yeah.
But they all got,
Well, what happened was the writer who was doing the article was
who's
supposed to
a dick, by the way.
Yeah, he was trying to do it about Emilio Estevez. Emilio Estevez thought that there was this kinship between the two of them, and so invited them out to go party, right? And so there's 22, 23-year-old people who have a shit ton of money, and they're just like, fuck yeah, let's get out, let's get wasted. And the problem was they had this guy who was doing this article,
journalist,
and he's
yeah.
watching. He's 29 years old, so he's removed, and he's watching all this stuff happen. They were trying to include him, and he was going, wow, that was kind of dick to do to somebody, and wow, I didn't really like that.
Yeah.
And so he ended up, and because I guess he was sitting around trying to figure out what he was going to call it, and his friends were all old fat writers, and they went, oh, we're like the Fat Pack, and he goes, Fat Pack, ooh, the Brat Pack. So he put that in, and then everybody thought brat meant whiny and bitchy and blah, blah, blah. And that was the interesting thing is, depending on your perspective of it, a lot of people looked at it as somebody being whiny about where they were at.
Totally.
And for him, what I got from it is Andrew McCarthy, because he went through a lot of therapy, because his dad fucked him up like really bad. Like I read the book that he wrote about it, and it's sort of an offshoot of that. And his dad was the most manipulative, narcissistic guy. So he would come into Andrew's life and go, "Hey, I need $25,000."
Yeah.
And he would say, "Dad, I don't want to give you that money." He goes, "Hey, I'm your father. You're supposed to give me this money." And so he would inevitably give the dad the money. The dad would blow it and then come back. And then every time he kept saying, "Dad, I can't do this for you anymore." He goes, "Hey, you're my son. I brought you in this world. You're making all this money. What are you doing?" You know what I mean? So it became like a whole different level of shit for him. Plus, he was one of the few in that group who'd actually studied acting. So when they started doing the movies and everybody made all this money, I mean, fuck, Rob Lowe was going to make a bunch of money anyway just because he was so pretty.
So pretty.
But
Good looking
Andrew McCarthy already had these sort of things that were messing with him because he felt inadequate.
Yeah.
And then you add the Brat Pack thing onto it, and it just got worse. And it took him 30 years and all this therapy sort of to divorce himself from it so he can look at it. And I was surprised that he hadn't talked to any of them in those 30 years about any of this stuff.
It's very weird because,
Yeah.
I mean, as far as we all knew growing up, they were all besties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you understand that people make movies and then they separate, but, they were such a core group for so long. They think this, they liked each other. Because I think that's why Molly Ringwald probably didn't want to do it. Maybe she just...
Well, I saw a clip where they were even trying to figure out who was considered Bat Pack.
Totally, because who was?
Tom Cruise wasn't considered part of that.
No.
But they still loved him in, even though he
outsider.
wasn't one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he
there was no
distanced
defining
distanced
group
himself
of
pretty
who
quickly.
it actually was.
Totally. And Leah
Yeah.
Thompson was
Yeah.
one, but not really one.
Yeah.
No.
But
James Spader.
which is weird because when I think of the Brat Pack, I don't think of anyone except for Andrew McCarthy, Demi Moore, Molly Ringwald, Emilio Estevez, Judd Nelson,
Yeah.
that St. Elmo's
basically-
Fire
yeah,
people.
St. Elmo's
Yeah, St. Elmo's Fire and
James Spader.
Breakfast Club. That's
Yeah.
it. Those are the two.
Those are that's the Brat Pack.
Oh, Judd
And
Nelson.
Everyone else on
and
the outside,
outsiders.
not so much outsiders because you had
no.
like Matt Dillon in there.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, in case you guys have never seen, there's a show that came on in 2014, I think, called Wayward Pines, based on on the novel by Blake Crouch. He made a series called Wayward Pines, book series, and he also wrote and created the new Apple TV show Dark Matter, which is amazing with Jennifer
I've
Connelly.
heard
If
of
you
that
haven't
one.
seen it,
Yeah.
Joel Edgerton.
Yeah.
But the first season of it has Matt Dillon.
Yeah.
Which was awesome, and the show was great. And then the second season had Jason Patrick in it
Oh, no way.
as the lead. So it's like he kind of took these people and brought them back, and you're like, oh shit, that's where they've been. That's right. Sorry, sidebar.
No,
Matt
that's
Dillon's
cool.
great.
But Bratz was fine. I enjoyed it because it was nostalgic.
Yeah, right.
And I
Right.
love that's.
Yeah.
I'm like I live in the '80s. My brain is like.
It was just cool. To me, it was really cool because he was the one who was making these calls, Andrew McCarthy, right?
Yeah.
So it was neat because he calls Emilio Estevez. He called them all kind of cold, and some of them avoided him. Some of them, like Molly Ringwald, went. She initially said she would do it, and then she went. And thinking about it, I was like, and Judd Nelson just went, fuck that, I ain't doing any of this
But
shit.
the end of it was great.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
he's like, oh, hey, Judd,
Yeah.
and then it's,
and then just shut. But
Yeah.
Emilio Estevez was really cool because they hadn't seen each other in 30 years. They give him a hug. He says, "Why did you agree to do this?" Because Emilio Estevez, more than anybody, when the whole thing broke,
Disappeared.
He distanced himself from everything having to do with any of that shit super quick. And he actually said, "Because you called me." And to me, that's a cool thing to say.
Totally.
Like,
It's
I
good-
wouldn't do it, but like, because all these people, all these years, have all asked him about it, all talked to him about it. He was like, "No, I'm not doing it."
But it
For
shows that they
whatever-
had like a bond.
Yeah,
You know, even though
yeah.
you don't, it's like when you don't see a friend that's your best friend in high school, you
Yeah.
don't see him for 30 years, and then you guys get together and it's like a day hasn't passed.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of like that's probably.
You know,
Yeah.
you're a little younger, but did you go to school with any of them?
Who did I-
No, he's way too young.
I'm because they're all 10 years older than me. They're all
They are.
60,
Yeah.
61, 62, 63.
Yeah.
Wow,
But I mean, they were because I didn't go to their high schools or anything. So my generation of actor people are all the like step down. So I mean, it's all the people that are my age. So like the Mila Jovoviches and the I don't know, like Drew Barrymore's, Stephen Dorff's,
Oh,
like
wow.
those type of people.
Okay.
We went to school.
those would be my like
Your
because
generation.
Outsiders and all those movies, I saw them, but I was pretty young.
How old
Yeah.
are you, John?
I'm 46.
Okay.
So I'm only 4 years younger
Yeah,
than
yeah,
you. But like at that time between 85 and 90, right? That makes a difference.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's when
totally.
Those
Yeah.
movies came
It was,
out.
it was
Yeah.
a huge difference.
So like I saw them, but I wasn't old enough to comprehend, you know,
The significance of
yeah,
what you're
and
seeing.
the underlying storylines and stuff. It's just like, okay, that was kind of funny.
I mean, Brooke and I still we talk about St. Elmo's Fire, which we both watched, and we're like, I still like as a kid, I'm like, what the fuck is happening in this movie? I don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and Kevin Costner's the dead friend that they
the Big Chill. Yeah.
But it's, you know,
Because I
But-
remember like watching Breakfast Club, and when Judd Nelson falls through the ceiling,
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. But that's as deep as my comedy mind had went at that age, or whatever that movie
So
came out.
did you grow up more around the Less Than Zero time then?
no, that's still
that's
our
still-
No,
time.
that's
So
still,
80s
yeah.
still.
That's Robert Downey Jr. when he was in the
More like
throes of all that shit.
Roadhouse?
There you go.
Did you see the new one?
I didn't watch the new
The
one.
fucking worst.
It's
It is-
stupid.
It's so
My
bad.
dad
dumb.
said it was pretty
It's
good.
Patrick Swayze's like so bummed out and like rolling over his grave, and he's like, "How could you do this?"
It sucks.
It was
Really?
really bad.
I heard it was pretty good.
No. I think that's what the media wanted you to believe. Just like the Earth is flat. No, but it was the. You're like, wait, what? It was a bad movie, and
Well, okay, let me ask you this question.
yeah.
Would it have been fine if they did not call it Roadhouse?
So here's my
They
problem.
should
Yes,
have had Connor in it. That was the worst.
he was
choice
so
of all.
bad. He was so bad. Here's my overlying problem with redoing movies on IP that we care about.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
If we care about Roadhouse because it was the best movie in the world, like I could like three finger throat rip anyone in this room because Patrick Swayze taught me to.
Right.
But like, I want to see Patrick Swayze in that. He's dead, R.I.P. But
Yeah.
if you're gonna make another Roadhouse, I want it to have to do with that world.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
just call Jake.
Yeah,
Gyllenhaal.
they took it
because
to a
the
whole
people
different, yeah.
they're catering to. If it's us, we don't want to see that.
Yeah.
We want to see Dalton's son.
It's kind of like the same thing with Ghostbusters when they
No,
tried
it's the exact
turning
same
it into
thing.
a female cast. I was like, well, what is going on here? You
Well,
know?
but that's why, I mean...
But they
when
do that all the time with
Yeah.
everything. Whenever they did it with the Teen Wolf TV show. Like, don't call it Teen Wolf because it has nothing to do with Michael J. Fox. It has nothing
Yeah.
to do with Jason Bateman. You know, it's like some other thing.
Yeah.
But we don't care about that.
Well, where did they go wrong with between Afterlife and Frozen Empire? Because Afterlife, I really enjoyed. I liked it a lot.
So Afterlife was
Oh,
good
oh, oh.
because it tugged on the heartstrings.
yeah,
And it was,
Pat Ramis and all
you
that,
got to
right?
see all that, and it was
Whereas-
a beautiful moment. And then this one, it just I think it was just a one and done thing. I think they tried to build on the world, and it just didn't work. You know, because you still have to bring all the old guys back because people
Yeah.
want to see them.
Yeah.
Well,
But it's-
Afterlife, right? They didn't. I guess maybe they would have had to rebuild the child characters better. I didn't see. What is the new one?
Frozen
Empire.
Empire.
But you got to really count on those characters to connect in some way.
Well, they
right?
brought in. I mean, but they had Paul Rudd play a larger role.
So it's hard. So like you watch the original Ghostbusters, you could watch Ghostbusters 2 and you're still following along.
Yeah.
I watched the Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah.
And I was like, fine, it was good.
Yeah, it's fine.
But then the new one, I'm like, wait, how did Paul Rudd fit into this again? And who are these other characters? And I couldn't remember, and maybe because I'm old and dying, but I couldn't remember without having seen the movie like a week prior to. You know, whereas like Ghostbusters 1 comes out, and you could see the sequel 2 years later, and you still know what's
have
happening.
it fresh in your mind.
Yeah.
And
Is
that
that
very
just-
catchy Bobby Brown song.
It's the best Bobby Brown song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this last one I saw, which is the Afterlife one.
Yeah. No.
Frozen Empire.
The one with the cameo of the original cast, right? Came in.
That's
They-
after. That's after.
Well, they were in both of them.
yeah. I didn't like it at all, man.
Was the world frozen in this one, or was it they on a farm?
He's not gonna remember.
They're frozen, I think, right?
Well, that's the one that just came out this year or something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you didn't
That
watch
movie
Afterlife.
sucked.
But you
It
didn't watch
wasn't good.
Afterlife.
I saw the last one I saw before that. I don't know if it was Afterlife. It was all a
With the
women
girls,
cast.
which
And
is the
that-
worst.
Wow,
That
dude, you
sucked
missed
too.
Afterlife.
Yeah, you gotta see Afterlife.
Afterlife was
'cause-
good.
Well, now it's ruined for you.
I
but
know.
Imagine seeing a new Ghostbuster movies after a million years. Harold Ramis has passed away, who's like the heart of the team.
Oh, I did see Afterlife. They had a homage
The
to
Ghost.
him, right?
Yeah, okay, so that's the one you,
Oh,
you didn't
okay.
like that one?
That one was okay, but I think in my mind, the burning,
Wasn't that Pepsi?
the ruining of the whole thing was the women cast and this last one.
Yeah, it was a bum out. There's no need. This is horrible, and I keep saying this in like public forums, but you don't need to like woke everything,
No.
and you don't need to like it doesn't make sense.
Well, okay.
You're forcing it instead of I'm all about organics. If you could slowly start building a Ghostbuster team and inserting women, and then let them
Right,
eventually
right.
take over, dope. But don't just out of nowhere throw four people together, and you're like,
But your point is very correct in that who are you targeting, right? Because for example, with the Ghostbusters, I'm a fan of Ghostbusters. I'm going into my 50s soon and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So, but they're not catering to you to that crowd when they change everything.
totally.
And then so they're trying to get this new audience, but the new audience just not seem to be there.
See, but that's the problem with remaking stuff. So Roadhouse should have been called, like Bar Fight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Not
then
even a
it probably
franchise.
would have been a more successful
Yeah,
movie.
not even a franchise. It's
No,
just
because then I could be like,
completely
oh, this kind of reminds me
Yeah.
of Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Great. That's awesome that I
Yeah.
could, put them together.
I mean, it wasn't in the same place.
No, but he was
it
still
didn't have the
Dalton
same
and-
characters. Well,
No.
except for the Dalton, but even the Dalton was somebody. They were just a name only.
Yeah.
yeah,
And I went,
yeah. He
what
didn't
the
have
hell
a
He
is
didn't
happening?
even need to be. He could have been, Rick Steele. Like, who gives a
Yeah.
shit? You know?
Yep.
So then they do that all the time. And it's like, the old people that made this thing famous, that makes you want to remake it, do not want to see a remake with, different people.
Yeah.
The problem nowadays is remakes. They shouldn't make remakes.
Make
Why-
original
well,
shit.
make
All the
original
studios
shit.
are afraid.
When we were
Well,
kids, we saw original stuff.
That's because they had to build all this stuff, and now they're like so obsessed with IP that they're afraid to take chances.
But the
on
thing is,
original
okay,
films.
I had this conversation in the car
And then
last
we're gonna
night.
get into Star Wars.
Oh
I had this
god.
conversation in the car last night.
Afterlife sucks.
The part I want to avoid the most.
Sorry.
So
Take it now.
one of the things that drives me the most insane is Marvel. Because, as I was saying in the car last night to my friend Grant, they have 70 years of stories
Yeah.
that are awesome that they can cherry pick and that's who supported Marvel all this time. And it's like, oh, I wouldn't mind seeing those stories play out on the big screen. They tweak them a little bit, and that's what they were doing. And then
Kinda.
yeah, kind of. But
Ish.
for the
But
most
it
part,
worked.
But it worked, and it was interesting, and it was something I could show my kids and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden they're like, "Yeah, we're not doing any of those stories anymore. We're going a completely different route." And it's like, and then you say, "Well, this sucks," and they go like, "Well, you're supposed to like it because it's Marvel." And it's like, no, I want to see it. I want to see some of these stories play out on the big screen, but nope, they don't want to do it.
Marvel's success was due to A, great storytelling, B, the patience to tell those stories over a long period of time. Because that's where DC failed.
Yeah.
They, instead of building the Justice League, they made a Superman movie, Batman versus Superman,
Let's go.
Justice League. And you're like,
Yeah.
what is happening right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas if they would have just taken their time, they could have built something amazing. But they were rushing to catch up to Marvel when they didn't have to.
No.
But Marvel's really, I don't know if they, I think I think Marvel didn't know how huge what they were built. They had a plan to build something huge, had no idea if it was going to be huge. And as it was getting huge, this is their first, phase that did the whole Thanos stuff. As it was getting bigger, they're like, holy shit, we crushed it, right? And they recognized that, but that was their main story. And so then they tried to recreate that with stakes that are nowhere near as good or wanting to take the time to build it and not knowing how to weave it.
That's why the Marvels was. I didn't even watch it because it
there was awful, awful.
Because there was no point.
There's no point.
The Captain Marvel movie, I actually enjoyed. I thought it was actually pretty good. But
it was okay.
But then they took the Captain Marvel and then they did the other thing, and I went, "What is that?" And
I tried watching Kamala Khan's Marvel show, and I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
And then having her friend be it's just too much, and it makes no sense. And I think I get the point of the Eternals is to introduce the big Galactus type characters.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they have to waste hundreds of millions of dollars to tell a shitty story to introduce that. But they could have just sprinkled it in like they did with Thanos. Over the 10 years of building.
Where something happens here, something happens there, and there's
give me all post credit stuff.
Yeah.
And let that be your little tease. Don't waste the money. And so they, Deadpool, knock on wood.
So is the consensus here that that's going to be a big hit?
Oh, yeah.
100%.
It's going to be
Deadpool?
huge.
Yeah.
Deadpool's already broken records in ticket sales for an R-rated film.
And I think it's just because everybody's excited about something that doesn't suck. And
100%.
It doesn't look like it's going to suck.
100%. And it's something that everyone's been waiting for forever. It's something that Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds have been building forever. And the fact that they're able to do it now. When I see them jumping in the trailer and the two of them going through the little I get chills. Because I'm like, that's fucking cool, and that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
And Ryan Reynolds, all credit to him, is in control of this world.
Yeah.
And his sensibility for this character, which is perfect, he's doing a great job.
Yeah.
So if he just keeps doing this, I don't think he could fuck it up.
Yeah. That's the only comic book movie that I liked was Deadpool.
Because it's great.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
You didn't like Infinity Wars?
I didn't even watch Infinity War.
What?
Okay, you gotta
What
understand.
the hands down greatest moment in cinematic history since movies first started in the history of film.
Yeah.
The greatest scene ever shot on film
Hey, Cap.
or digital
On your left.
is yep. You get the fucking crinkle.
Yep.
It's on your left, and you look, and fucking Chris Evans is just beat and fucking just is dying and can't fucking, and he's dirty. And he's like, I don't know how I'm gonna cry right now.
Shield
I'm
is
so
broken.
excited.
Yeah.
His light, it's over. He's gonna lose, and then it's broken fucking radio. Hats off to the sound design people.
Yeah.
Cap on your left. You're like, boom! I'm getting chills right now, and it's fucking the portal open. It's like, bum 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 bum, bum, and everyone in the theater. This is why movies are amazing. You're in that theater with everyone. Every single person is like, yeah, fucking yeah. The whole theater, hundreds of people are just screaming at this moment.
That's probably why I never watched it.
Oh my God, it's
was
so
great.
good.
It was so
I was
good.
there that first. I was opening
the
day.
greatest. I have chills just thinking about it.
I would go. I would end up going back to the movie and just watching that part.
Dude,
you
yeah.
can miss the whole rest of the movie and just
I watch
when
the
that
clip on YouTube all the time when I want to fucking just get jazzed.
Yeah.
That and the opening to Peacemaker. Because they're both the greatest. But it's such a magical, amazing moment.
Yeah.
And it 10 years to build to this moment. So it's this huge release that you're just like, bah! On the screen. You're like, yeah! It really is incredible, and you should take the time to go in. And because even when you watch it at home.
Ruined it for me.
No. This is the one thing I think you can talk about, and it doesn't ruin the magic.
Oh, really?
Because
it really is great.
The visual of seeing it all happening.
Totally.
Never
all
gets
these
old.
characters that we just started growing up with basically, and seeing them all on screen, and then this magical thing where all of them are together.
Yeah.
And so you have the greatest superhero moment, whereas when you're reading comic books, you see the team ups all the time, and when you see crossovers, you're like, that's fucking rad. But now you're seeing it in cinema, and you're seeing dozens and dozens of superheroes on screen fighting, and it was fucking great.
Did you guys cry?
I did not cry. I cried at the end of Star Wars. And I think
Star Wars?
this last one.
Break down?
Wait.
No, because I was so excited.
Yeah, because it wasn't a crying
Wait.
joy thing. It was
I wanted
just
to
being
fucking
excited.
fight people. I was so excited. I was like, if anyone, like a bum came up to me outside and I left that theater,
Let's go!
I'd kill him. I'm like, oh, I can do anything now. Like,
Wait. You're talking about the newest trilogy?
I'm going to tell you why, because I know that's weird to say.
Really? The
Yeah.
newest trilogy?
Because it was that bad you had to cry?
No, and normally it would be yes, because it was that bad. But I think what happened with me, because I'm very nostalgic, right?
You're talking about Rise of Skywalker, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The fucking. There's a funny thing on YouTube you can watch where a guy's like, all these movies are named wrong. And it's like the Clone Wars should have been called this. They have all their names backwards because this movie is actually about one of the other titles.
Yeah.
So, we've had Star Wars in our life for 40 years, right?
Movies, yeah.
Something like that, right? 77.
Yeah.
And so, I think, and it wasn't because it was good. It was because it was the end. It was the end of 40, and I did the same thing at Indiana Jones. Because it was like a closure.
Yeah, that last movie was...
I don't mind them because if you go back and look at Indiana Jones and rewatch, because I did that with my son. I made him watch every movie, even Crystal Skull, until we saw the new one in the theater. Yeah. They're all literally, with the exception of Harrison Ford being less rapey as, the movies, because he's like all about fucking in these movies. It's wild. And Rambo's all about John Rambo taking showers. It's very strange what happened in the 80s. Yeah. But, every one of these movies, they're all the same. You have a different MacGuffin in that thing, whether it's the Ark of the Covenant or the Crystal Skull. Yeah. But they're all the exact same. So while everyone hated Crystal Skull, I'm like, but it feels like an Indiana Jones movie. Just like this latest one, which was like whatever. It still felt like a Indiana Jones movie. And so with the end of those was the end of an era, because I know I'm never going to see Harrison Ford as Indy again. I know I'm never going to see Mark Hamill or any of those guys as Star Wars characters again. So at Star Wars, I was like, I cried. I was like, this fucking sucks. Not because the movie was great, because it wasn't, but because I was losing, part of my childhood. It's like when your favorite restaurant that you grew up going to closes, and you're like, yeah, it was my childhood jam. Yeah. Like my Arby's on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood, after 55 years, is now closing down, and it makes me
I love
super
Arby's.
sad. I know.
We have Arby's.
I know. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry.
I'm just,
There's one in Pearl Ridge that I go to all the time. If they ever go away, I'll kill myself.
There's no Arby's in Pearl Ridge.
Oh, there certainly is.
Yeah, there is.
There's an Arby's and a hot dog on a stick.
Yeah.
It really makes the 80s come back to me.
The Arby's on the second level.
Next to the government place, the DMV or whatever.
They used to be next to Crazy Shirts, right?
And then they also have one in Waipahu. Okay. So the Pearl Ridge one ever closes.
Arby's is delicious.
Yeah,
just
Arby's
so
is amazing,
man.
Just so everyone knows, hey, this segment's brought to you by Arby's. We got the meat.
When we were doing the Pure Heart
I'm
album.
sorry to Fort Ruger Market. We love your stuff too.
I love you the most, Fort Ruger.
Yes.
But there was an Arby's in Kailua that I used to always go to before I would go to a recording studio.
I was very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bum out.
There's nothing on this side.
Yeah, nothing. Well, Ala Moana.
Yeah.
They don't have Arby's.
No more Arby's.
Not anymore? Oh, they used to.
All you get is Pearl Ridge and Waipahu.
Yep. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's
when
do
can we
this.
talk about Star Wars, man?
When are you trying to get us back on track?
We'll finish this. We'll finish at Star Wars.
When did we start the show talking about?
I know, right?
Okay. So we already got through. We're at the point where Furiosa, Garfield movie, Bad Boys, Inside Out 2
Furiosa was awful.
All come out.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard that was good too.
Oh wait, no, I lied. Sorry. So
you mean Fury Road was bad?
No, I'm going to correct myself because I've seen so many movies since I had Achilles tendon surgery, so I've been just consuming everything. Okay. No, Furiosa I thought was a really good prequel movie. Because a lot of things they do prequels and you're like, why?
Yeah.
But this kind of did a good job building the world.
Okay.
At no point do I ever think that Anya Taylor-Joy is going to turn into Charlize Theron. But it's such a they do a great job with her character backstory and all that stuff. So Furiosa was great. Did not see Garfield.
Okay.
Which I heard was a disaster.
Are you watching all this at home or at a theater?
I go to every movie I see in the theater.
Which theater do you go to usually?
I go to Olino out in Kapolei.
Holy smokes.
Well, because I live in Pearl City. So I can either go into town and deal with chaos, or I could go out there where it's kind of more peaceful and a really nice theater.
Okay.
So, and they both have...
Olino's really nice.
They both have Titan Lux, Dolby Atmos. And then, you know what I've been doing, which is a great theater, is I saw Furiosa in IMAX at Dole Cannery. Every single person, everyone needs to go see. Where's your audience? Are they here? It doesn't matter where they are. Go see movies in theaters. And if you have an IMAX theater wherever you live, and they're big movies that are on there, like a Furiosa.
Yeah.
Go see those movies there. They're meant to be seen on giant screens.
Yeah.
They're like some rom-coms and shit like that, and comedies, where back in the day I used to see everything, right? Now I'm like, I'm okay if I pay for it at home. But the blockbusters and the things that are meant to be seen on
Big
giant
screen,
screens, I have to do it.
We had Coco Marina right by our house that just shut down this past year.
Man.
Yeah.
And we used to see like premieres, like empty theaters, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day.
I mean, it was a double-edged sword because, yeah, you'd go to the newer movies and no one would be there.
Yep.
But then that's why they shut down.
Yeah.
You know.
But the screen wasn't very big too. Over there.
No, they didn't have IMAX or
sound
anything.
system was
But
like,
just
meh.
to be in an empty theater watching a brand new movie, I used to love that, man.
That's the best. It's like your own little private
Yeah.
Yeah.
screening.
Yeah.
Because I was like that back home. I'd go to like a giant movie theater for some random movies. Like I love all the Resident Evil movies, and so I'd always see them. in
Resident
theaters.
Evil is like, what is it? It's like a empty calories but tasty.
Exactly.
You know,
so I don't.
I tried to think of that.
I'm not sure if they're good. I went to school with Mila.
They're all terrible.
Right? We went to high school together, and I'm not sure if I like the Resident Evil movies, but I definitely know that I love them and that I could watch them over and over and over and over, and my life stops with. It's for some reason that franchise is so fun, and I hated the video game.
Yeah.
But I loved the franchise. I loved the movies. They were so entertaining to me. And I could just watch them forever. And the last one that was in theaters, I took Finnegan to, and it was literally he and I in the theater in LA.
Wow.
And I mean, you know, female lead, no problem. Action,
No problem at all.
Yeah.
I don't have any problem with female leads. I think it's fucking great. I think it's a problem when you take, you know, your Ghostbusters and turn them into 4 women that, you know, who I love each and every one of them individually, but neither one of them
Have
are
anything to do with
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
No.
Yeah.
By the way, I'll put this out there into the ethos. My favorite skin for Fortnite ever that they could make would be Beatrix Kiddo from The Bride
Yeah.
from Kill Bill. Just sending that out there in case anyone from Fortnite is
They
listening.
should make a Furiosa skin.
They probably will.
That would be great.
The season
He
is
got
all
to
Mad
put
Max.
in his
custom.
Yeah, his custom.
Yeah.
Are you playing Fortnite all the time?
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
He's addicted.
How do you like this new season with the stupid cars?
I fucking hate those
Yeah.
cars. I don't normally swear, but those cars,
They're the worst.
they're
That's
the
the first I've
worst.
heard you swear, John.
I know, I love it.
You
I
really don't
can't
like the cars.
stand those goddamn
got
cars. Because, you know, you work so hard to build your skill as a player, and then a stupid car runs you over and you're dead.
Wait. Explain to those
So-
of us who do
so,
not
okay,
play this
so-
crazy game
so
what
for-
the hell's going on.
Why are you asking him to do that right now?
Well, because he said that.
All right,
If
all
he
right.
says I fucking hate the cars, and this
Yeah,
is
we got
his
him now.
visceral
Now we know.
reaction to the
Go ahead,
cars,
okay,
so I don't get it.
I'll try to keep it short. I'll keep it short.
This is what Star Wars
Yeah,
is.
the Fortnite 2. Go.
All right, okay. Fortnite is a third-person shooter, so you run around and shoot people.
Yeah.
Basically.
Right.
And there are cars in the game, and you can drive them around to get to places so you can move faster. Okay.
Okay.
This season, they made a kind of like a Mad Max themed season. So every season they change stuff within the game.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's like, you know, Marvel season or whatever, and they get different weapons and stuff. This time they allowed you to add a bunch of like things to the cars to
Mods
make
to
them
the cars,
strong and
yeah.
fast, and now people just get the cars. And at one point there was cars that were like pretty much indestructible and couldn't run out of gas, and they would just drive around the whole game and just run people over because you couldn't die basically if you're in the
Yeah.
car.
Well, how do you kill? And you can't kill the person in the car.
You
It
can,
takes
but it's
forever.
super hard. You got to shoot
So
them through
do
the
you
windshield.
have your own car?
You have to land at a certain place and get these certain cars. But once you get the car,
I was so disheartened by this season. This is the first season that I've never played. I haven't even played it yet. Because
Wow.
I'm watching videos of people because you have to land in the arena to get the car, to get out. And
Yeah.
It's like, get out of here.
they've nerfed the cars quite a bit. Now,
Okay.
so it's not
Nerfing means they make it weaker.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Buffing means they make it stronger.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now you know nerd game talk.
I know.
Yeah.
Good lord.
So basically, like, and the thing is, the games are long. They're like 20 minutes, and most of the game you're like grabbing weapons and getting ready for the big battle, and then someone just runs you over,
Yeah.
and you're just like freaking
It's a
dead.
bummer.
That can be frustrating, yeah.
Yeah, it's so irritating. So now,
It's
so now
really ruined your day,
they took away the infinite gas and they took away the infinite health. So now, like, if you shoot the car enough, it'll blow up.
You know,
But
when you take away infinite health, man,
I know.
it
I know. That's really pushing.
How can you
That's
do
really
that?
going over
Yeah.
the line, man. I
What
tell
dicks.
yeah.
I mean,
All right.
you have to give the Fortnite guys credit though,
Punch 'em.
because at least they're
Call 'em
making the
a nerd and punch
modification.
Yeah, no.
They could let you. They could have just let it go.
Well,
but at least they're-
that's why Fortnite's lasted so long.
Well, how are you
because they-
coping now though with this change?
Well, he had to get back on the podcast.
Yeah. No.
Talk to
So now they nerfed it enough so it's playable now. So all we
Okay.
do is we get on
Okay.
high ground and we just shoot down at the cars because it takes a while for them to break down the buildings. So if you're
Yeah.
on a building, you can get away with it.
If it makes you feel any better, I play Apex nonstop every
Oh, okay,
day.
yeah, that's what people play. If they're not playing Fortnite, play Apex.
I thank you for your service.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and 2 minutes.
All right, okay.
Thank you for your
Okay, so
service.
of these, what's left? Which would be? And we'll go around the table. Kyle, you can guess. Which movie would be your favorite movie coming up for the rest of the summer? There is A Quiet Place Day 1,
Gonna be great.
Despicable Me 4,
Who cares?
Twisters,
Who cares?
Deadpool and Wolverine,
Best movie ever.
Wolverine.
Alien Romulus,
Gonna be the best.
Borderlands,
Who
and
cares?
Beetlejuice.
Borderlands is with Bobby Lee, yeah, the one that's coming out.
Oh, really? I don't know. I don't know
Bobby
who's in it.
Lee.
I know.
He is.
Yeah.
He's like one of the characters in
Yeah.
the video game movie.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, really?
I don't really know about Borderlands. So.
So Borderlands, you know the video game because they did a
I-
whole
I've
Fortnite
heard of-
skin about it.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
I am no.
Fortnite had like a whole Borderland, like one of the maps had like a
really?
Borderland city,
Okay.
and then all the characters.
I
This
missed it.
fucking guy, right? Wastes 2 minutes of our time. Doesn't even know about Fortnite. You're a liar, John. No, it's All right, so go. Do the first movie. We should
Yeah. Okay.
read it, and then we'll all go around.
Oh, okay. A Quiet Place Day 1.
Gonna be great. I loved every single one of those movies so far.
I liked both of them. I trust John Krasinski.
Well,
Yep.
Is he directing this too?
I think he's.
I have
directing
no
this
idea
one, too.
actually.
I
He
don't
must
think he's
because it's his
directing
thing. He might not be. They did one in Spain, I think, a Spanish
Oh
one.
wow.
Oh, really?
I think, or which franchise? Maybe that was Blindside.
I don't
not
know. I
Blindside.
feel-
what was the blind one?
I
don't know.
feel
Who
like
cares?
they're gonna pull the rug from under us. with
about a
this
giant
one. I
football
don't know.
player attacking aliens. No, go ahead.
Okay.
You mean Blind Box?
Yes, Blind
Bird
Box.
Box.
Bird
Box.
Box. Yeah,
Bird
Bird Box.
They
yeah.
did Bird Box Barcelona.
Oh, okay.
They're all the same movie,
yeah,
just
yeah.
different.
Yeah.
You know, either ears or eyes
Yeah.
or sound.
Despicable Me 4. I could care less.
Don't care. I didn't even see Inside
Out
Out
2.
2.
Yeah, I mean, but it's blowing up the box office.
That's
It's gonna
huge.
be yeah.
$155 million.
But it's weird. Like I don't know anybody who's just like, oh, I just
I need to
love
see that.
Inside Out.
You know why?
Weird.
Because your
Yeah.
kid's big already.
No, but even my kids don't care. I mean, we all
Because your
watched
kid's
it.
big already.
yeah.
They don't care about that shit.
I guess so.
They
It'll
don't
be on
care.
Disney Plus soon
Yeah,
enough.
they don't care.
Yeah, so I have no feelings about Inside Out 1 or 2, but okay, Twisters.
So this is another movie.
Is that the tornado one
Yes.
getting redone?
Bill
Did we-
Paxton movie that
Enough
they're
already.
doing it.
Well, not
The
small,
first
but-
one was silly.
I like
Yeah.
Powell, Glenn Powell.
He's
or-
great. I'm
Yeah.
glad that he's
So,
hopefully becomes a
because-
huge movie star.
because he's in it. I'm kind of hoping that.
Did you
it's-
watch that movie on Netflix he did, the little rom-com?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was good.
It was
Anyone
good.
but you?
Yeah.
Sydney
It
Sweeney.
was really good.
It's
Yeah.
great. I don't get her career, but his I understand.
Well, when she takes off her clothes, you totally get it.
Totally understand her career.
Yeah.
Probably one of the most powerful actresses of our day.
Just saying. Sorry, we're
No,
not
like,
misogynistic. We're just saying.
Twisters is a sequel that you don't necessarily need.
But it's not a sequel. It's a totally right.
It is
Yeah.
a sequel.
Oh, it is. Oh, okay.
Because it's Twister was the original. They're Storm Chasers.
No. But is it gonna flash back to the original?
Never.
No, right? It's
No,
just gonna
no.
be a whole
But
new.
it, I mean, maybe it's a reboot. But who gives a shit? Call it something else.
Again.
Don't even
again
make me
with the-
think
yeah,
about
we're
the
doing
other one. 'Cause
Roadhouse
then
thing,
Bill Paxton, R.I.P.,
Yeah.
was great with Helen Hunt, right? They were in the
yeah,
original.
Yeah.
W- Like,
I don't think either
I
one
don't
of
want
them
it
is
to
in
be
this.
called Twister. Call it like, the Storm.
Tornado.
Who cares? Call it Tornado.
Tornado.
Call it Windy Land in the plains of
Windy
Middle
Land.
America. Like, it doesn't matter.
Oh shit! Here it comes.
Oh, what about the Kevin Costner movie? You don't have that on your list.
Oh yeah.
What
The,
is that?
the Western.
Yeah.
He has a whole
Oh.
epic saga cowboy.
He left
like,
Yellowstone for that thing, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yellowstone was the best. I
But
binged the
no.
first season of that.
Is he
Yellowstone
gonna?
is awesome.
Is he? Did he direct though?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. This is his thing.
And it's an R-rated movie and an R-rated Western movie.
Yeah.
And people are like, "What?" And
It's gonna be
apparently
great.
it's a trilogy of films.
So I was late to the game on Yellowstone. Just first of all, I'm a huge Kevin Costner fan, even though I've heard he's a dick, and like I think my sister met him once and he was a dick.
Oh.
But like I love him.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
the only person on planet Earth that worships Waterworld. I love Field of Dreams. I love everything this guy does, right? And when he does his westerns, I'm like,
Dances with Wolves.
I was so late to the game for Yellowstone, and then while I was laying in bed because I couldn't go anywhere, do anything, I binged in 4 days all of the first season of Yellowstone seasons 1 through 5. I didn't watch the prequels yet. I got to do that next. But it was fantastic.
Yep.
And just watching him do his western thing is the fucking best. And the reason he did that was because they didn't have a script ready for him to shoot. And he's not about wasting time.
Yeah.
So he went on.
And he had this idea for this western that he wanted to do after. I think it was actually before Dances with Wolves. Yeah. And he couldn't get it done because he wasn't as famous as he is now. Yeah. And so he went, well, I'll sit on it. And like you said,
it's gonna be.
He went, oh, okay, you're not gonna give me a script. I'll do this. And so it's Horizon.
Yeah, Horizon.
Yeah,
Horizon.
And so it's about it's a western about settling the
frontier.
The frontier. Right? And so all you're gonna see is white people and black people. So that's gonna be
great. Lots of murder. As long as Kevin Costner's a hero and he's white, I'm okay.
But he's got arguably the worst haircut I've ever seen in the movie. Did you see the previews for this thing? He's got like a bowl cut. I was like, damn, is that how they cut their hair?
There is an epidemic happening in the state of Hawaii where fucking kids in high school are getting these bowl cut haircuts that are the worst thing I've ever seen.
I've never seen this.
The epidemic also is that alpaca haircut where they're just looking on alpaca because they the tall hair.
I'm telling you,
permed hair.
That one is bad.
Yeah.
This one is worse because it's literally they just have, and you're like,
isn't it called like the Caesar or something like that?
The Caesar, a bowl cut. Either way, you got beat up when you were a kid.
Yeah,
you had that hair.
yeah.
No, but
every kid has that hair.
But what's his face? George Clooney had that, right?
Yeah, he did that in Dust Till Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, but dude,
bad.
that was a movie like 30 years old. Like, why would a kid want to have?
No one wants a bowl cut. I'm telling you. I'll take sneaky pictures of all these kids and bring them next time I'm on. I'm like, look who I got, and I'll throw them on the table.
I wish I had enough hair to do a bowl cut at least.
I wish I had hair. Maybe it's speaking out of jealousy. God damn it! You know what I could do is I could comb it over and then down.
And then cut it straight.
But you can flip your beard back.
I'm trying. Yeah. I'm getting it bigger so I can just. When my daughter was born, I had started growing my hair out, even though I'm always bald in the middle here, and it was rad because I had this dumb man bun with paper thin bald hair. It was ridiculous. I look great. Sometimes I get lazy and I just grow it out. Then I look like Doc Brown, and it's awesome.
Oh,
you gotta rock the look. You gotta embrace it.
Yeah.
You know, I do wish I had hair though. That's my biggest.
Brooke doesn't make you walk behind her or anything when you're having all crazy, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
If I trip on you though, it'll take your eye out. All right, so Horizon's gonna be good. That's not on your list.
Okay, sorry.
What else?
I got Alien Romulus.
It's gonna be great.
Okay. What was the one with the big guys? We're at the bottom.
Prometheus.
So here you described the space jockey. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy. I love sci-fi as a genre.
Okay.
And I really loved the first two, prequel Alien movies, Prometheus and.
You love them?
Loved them.
Yeah.
Everyone
and
hated
Covenant?
them. And Covenant. I thought they were great. I really, really, really enjoyed them. I could watch them over and over again. I thought they were neat. I liked the way they explain and explore and
There wasn't as much chest bursting and people getting killed.
And I was okay with it. And this one, it takes place, I think, after Sigourney Weaver, but before Aliens. Yeah. But it's a mixture of the two.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's going to be good.
Okay.
And it's directed by an actual horror movie guy.
Yeah, that Spanish dude.
Yeah.
All right, I've been burned by that franchise a couple of times. So
it's going to be good. You worry about Alien versus Predator. Those things are
Yeah.
But Prey was the greatest movie in the world.
Prey was awesome.
Great.
Female-led.
Yeah.
Amazing movie.
Yeah.
And I think they're doing a sequel to that one that takes place in feudal Japan or
really?
Something rad in that era, I think.
Yeah, Prey. After I watched that, I told my I just sat everybody else down that I could and said, "Oh, you got to watch Prey."
It was fantastic.
It
was great.
Fantastic film.
Nobody of note in the cast.
Nope. And I'm like, how the fuck are these aliens not gonna fucking kill every single Native American? And it worked perfectly.
Yeah.
It was so good.
It was well thought out.
You should watch that one too. It's on Hulu.
Okay.
Prey.
But
will you watch at least? You have a year before I'm on again.
I
watch one movie.
I don't have Hulu.
I'll get it for you for Christmas.
Thanks, Tori. Appreciate that.
Wait, did you watch any of the Predator movies?
The first one?
Okay.
No, not To Catch a Predator. Chris Hansen is in none of these.
Not that. different.
All right, so yeah, so that'll be good.
Okay, we talked about Borderlands. What about Beetlejuice? You get excited about that? I'm like
I'm excited.
bated breath, like.
But this falls into my my Indiana Jones and Star Wars thing, right? It is a sequel. It has the whole cast except for Jeffrey Jones, who's like a child molester.
I thought Alec Baldwin is in it.
and Alec Baldwin, Jeffrey Jones,
and Gina Davis, because they didn't ask her to come back.
Oh,
How come they didn't ask
they
Gina
didn't?
Davis to come back?
that's weird.
She mentioned that. She said, "Oh, I'm not in it because
Well,
nobody."
Michael
asked me."
Keaton is Beetlejuice?
Oh yeah.
Michael Keaton is Beetlejuice. Winona Ryder's coming back.
What
Yeah.
the hell?
And Catherine O'Hare, the mom,
Yeah.
she's back.
They don't need to put too much makeup on Michael anymore.
No, he
Old now, huh?
looks old.
Well,
Yeah.
they also said was interesting is when he decided, and this may be hearsay, but they said when he took the project, he found out how much time so he's 17 minutes roughly in that movie, and he told the writers, he said, "That's how much time I'm spending in this movie."
17 minutes?
Because he felt like that was the perfect amount of Beetlejuice. You have more than that for Beetlejuice, and it dilutes the character and wasn't going to get.
Yeah, because you
people
don't
what
want Beetlejuice running around like
whole
doing
movie.
with
stuff.
everything.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
make
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Because I guess he's not really in the original so much. He has like a few big set
Yeah, he has
pieces. And then,
17 minutes in that movie.
In the
But
first movie?
But it's like a very concentrated, really, really special 17 minutes. Because you get him and he pops up and goes, "Hey, how you doing?" All you hear is his voice, and he eats the fly, and he goes, "Ah!" and he takes it down under with him. And that's it. Right?
Yeah.
Or he comes out and he's wearing the thing. And
I
then
actually I forgot that
It's
movie.
it's a
so long
fantastic
time
movie,
ago,
but
yeah.
the
Such a
world
good
building
movie.
they did to
It's great.
make that thing, right? Yeah.
You don't realize he's only in for 17 minutes. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, I got one that's not a summer movie that I want your thoughts on.
a winter movie,
Was that Top Gun?
No,
the Olympics in Paris. It's gonna be hot.
Joker 2.
Folie du Japon, whatever it's called.
Because at first I heard it was a musical.
Which
And-
it has musical numbers.
It
in
has
it.
musical numbers in it. And then I thought, oh, what? How did... And then I saw the preview and I'm like, man, this looks fantastic.
What was the last Joker movie?
The one
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah.
My God. That was an awesome movie.
You love that one.
I love that one.
So here's I don't know if it's a problem because I like the movie a whole bunch, but that movie is so grounded and so real.
Yeah.
It kind of doesn't. It's not a DC movie.
It's not a comic
Like
book
there's
movie.
no way Batman could come in there.
It
No,
didn't
right.
feel
No way
like
there's
a-
gonna be like
yeah,
a
it didn't feel like a
penguin-y-
comic book
Yeah.
movie at all.
at all.
It's a guy just losing his shit
Yeah.
and becoming a
Real.
bad guy. Yeah.
It was great. That movie was great. This one, I'm into it, but like I know Harley Quinn's backstory, you know.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
I see it in this and it looks altered from the previews,
Right.
I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I know her origin because I used to watch the animated series. It was my favorite thing in the world, which is where she came from. I think it's going to be great. I mean, I like that Todd Phillips makes these movies, and he's known as a comedy director.
Yeah.
and he makes these like serious.
Super dark things where you're like, whoa.
Totally.
I know right now we're running into an hour, but if we can go a little longer, John, this time.
Yeah, because we didn't talk
There's
about
two
Star
things
Wars
I want
yet.
to cover.
Well, here's what you do: is you say, "Awesome, hey guys, thanks for having me on. If you want to hear the rest of this episode, go to the
my
Patreon.
we no longer do that anymore.
Bring it back."
Yeah, but anyway, I know before you guys talk about your Star Wars thing,
Bro, you guys can stretch this shit out just so that
wanted
we don't
to-
get a chance
I wanted
to do
to
this.
just-
That and then
we
Star
talked
Wars.
about this over lunch. That's why the cancellation of Will Smith
Yes.
and the uncancellation of Will Smith now.
Well, because Bad Boys is doing really well at the box office.
Bad Boys is crushing it in the box office, I think. So here are my views on the whole Will Smith thing. Is prior to the slap of 23, he was one of my favorites. Like I loved everything he did. I would, he was just an entertaining, sweet, awesome guy. Then he beats the shit out of fucking Chris Rock. And you're like, well, he's like a little guy and you're a big dude and that's fucked up and that's straight up bullying. And if that was like if that was The Rock on stage, you wouldn't have been doing that.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
if it was anyone else, it was Ice Cube's on stage, you're not doing that.
Was
right?
Chris Rock not a big dude? I mean, I know he's skinny, but is he not a
He
tall?
might be 6 feet or something, but like he's small. He's a
Yeah,
tiny
and he's
guy.
older too.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So it immediately disenfranchised me from Will Smith. I'm like,
Right.
fuck, this guy that I loved is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I didn't want to like hear anything else about it. And then, and like I Am Legend is one of my favorite movies. I watch it all the time. And now it soured that movie for me. And every time I tried watching it with my son recently, and I'm like, ugh, and we stopped watching it because I'm like,
He's the only one in the movie.
totally, and all I could think about, it's like it ruined it for him. I told John, I'm like, you never remember who wins any Academy Award anyways, but all you remember from last year was that he, slapped Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then fucking people are clapping for him when he wins the fucking award. And you're like, that's crazy. So he was dead to me. But then he was on Hot Ones. And Finn and I watched it. And I'm like, this fucking guy is so sweet and so nice. And he's so like just wonderful. And then you're like, okay, it's been a year. And I'm thinking about it. And I'm like, all the shit that was going on in his life with his wife stepping out on him and then fucking talking about it in a public forum on her Red Table Talks and then him having to not lose his shit. He's now internalizing all of this stuff and like just pushing it down and putting on the Will Smith smiley face, not giving himself the opportunity to be like, you fucking betrayed me, right? And so when Chris Rock was doing the jokes, you see that he's like laughing at first, but then sees his wife is all pissed. And so then I think something snapped and he just lost his cool at the wrong place and the wrong time. Like completely lost his shit. And unfortunately we saw that. And unfortunately Chris Rock was the recipient of that. And it's never okay to do that ever. Maybe in private. But, it's after seeing him on Hot Ones, I'm like, I kind of get it. Like, I don't know if my
so
love
charming.
for him is still there,
Yeah.
but I'm okay. I'm curious to see what happens in I Am Legend 2 that he does with Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm even glad that Bad Boys is crushing it at the box office. I'm happy for Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
I guess I was going to ask you because you've been in the scene.
Yeah.
How does the Hollywood
Yeah.
guys get a second chance? 'Cause there's a lot of actors that have been canceled for some things that they did.
So it depends, really. I mean, with him, the second that happened, all these deals and all these things fell apart for him.
Yeah.
Like, I Am Legend 2 got like put on hold. I think Bad Boys was already happening. So it didn't like the slap happen and then they decided to shoot the film. They were already on their way. People like Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a comeback. I think he's done like
Right.
a movie or something, but he's years out. Mel Gibson, right? He said horrible things.
But he's still doing movies now.
it
You know
took him
what's
a while,
weird
right?
is I don't know what this is going to sound like, but watching Will Smith slap Chris Rock hurts more to me than and as a Jew than Mel Gibson saying bad Jew shit. Like he was drunk and like saying whatever he was saying and it was crazy, but like I'd work with fucking Mel Gibson tomorrow and I'd go see him in a movie tomorrow, and Will Smith beating some poor innocent guy up on stage and humiliating him, that hurts me more than I don't know if that makes any sense, but Mel Gibson, it took him a minute. But
Yeah,
he
came
made
back.
a small comeback, right? So I think it really just depends on time and the severity of what happened.
I'll watch the Hot Ones and see if I change my mind.
It'd be interesting.
It's hard not to like that guy, man.
It
It's
really is.
Then we're talking during lunch, and
Yeah.
I told you about my experience on why in my mind, he's still canceled.
Why?
Yours really is, and that's why his like apology though. It's like,
Oh, you're talking about the apology.
if I do something horrible to someone or I fuck up, I say I fucked up. I'm sorry. I lost my shit. It's unacceptable. I hope you can forgive me. Stop recording. Send it out to the world.
Yeah.
Don't make some speech that doesn't really sound like
Sincere.
Apologetic.
And you're not
sincere.
even I don't even think, if I can recall, because I haven't seen it forever, but I don't think he ever straight up said, I'm sorry.
No.
Right? So that's like that's a problem for me.
Yeah.
Just in general. But yours is really and I didn't even know that because I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, because I kind of watch a lot of things that, when that kind of stuff happens, to just see how they're going to react. And when he turned on the camera in front of the world to apologize, I was watching, I was like, okay, what else is he doing during this video? Yeah. And what I saw was an end table next to him. And what I saw was a perfectly placed water bottle with the logo right on camera.
That's why I twisted this so you don't see the Pepsi at the camera.
And then I wondered, how sincere can he be with a placement of a product that's perfectly placed right next to him? And then I looked and I researched what this water was.
Yeah.
And it was his son's water company.
It's so crazy.
So he used a world stage to be apologetic, but also promote something at the same time.
Yeah, that was
which
crazy.
to me is unforgivable. I can forgive him for saying I'm sorry to Chris Rock, but having that world stage to take advantage of that
Totally.
thing is where I cancel him.
Well, but also too, right? It might not have been him. It might have been one of his people
One of the
representing.
people.
Yeah, because
But either way,
when
he-
you're that big
but
a
that's
story, you
him.
got all the
Yeah,
heat
you
around.
hire
He's
people
the
to-
guy that's on there
Yeah.
though, so you
Yeah.
should kind of know.
Yeah,
It's
and
like
he
If
has
it was
enough
me, if it
juice.
was me, I'd be like, take that water bottle away. This is not the time.
Yeah, but that's
know?
you.
But then he should hire people that's going to look out for
He-
him in a better
he
place.
shouldn't have had the like. That's
Yeah.
and,
that's
the why, and his
yeah.
own
Tasteless.
ethics
Yeah.
to take that away.
Okay, Devin.
Yeah.
10 minutes, Star Wars, go.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, we got a little bit into it with the Acolyte
Star
thing.
Wars or
You know,
Star Trek.
Star Wars.
Okay,
Star
okay.
Wars. My only thing, it's nice to know that somebody who appreciates Star Wars
Yeah.
or Star Trek
Both.
as much as we both do,
Yep.
that we both are looking at the new stuff that's coming out and going, this is so much bullshit. I don't understand why they're doing it. It
All
seems
of
like a money grab thing that's happening.
I can't understand it.
I tried to watch Andor. I couldn't do it.
I didn't even get into it. I couldn't.
I know.
I don't care.
I heard it was really good, but I couldn't get past the first couple episodes.
Yeah.
It was just too
I
slow.
couldn't even. I had zero interest in Andor.
We'll just turn off Kyle.
You just go to sleep real quick.
Gonna take a nap.
Oh, you get him in stereo.
Hey, I only get 10 minutes about. No make the kind. Anyway, continue, please. You go ahead. Anyway.
I was back home over spring break and we went to Disneyland. And it was my first time seeing Star Wars Land.
Oh, okay.
And it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like,
Did it have original Star Wars stuff, or was it all new stuff?
that original and new.
Okay, that's
I'm
good.
like mostly new because it's
the-
like
because
Daisy
the-
Ridley and like
the-
all
yeah.
those people.
The Galaxy Hotel or whatever that thing was that
Was a
shut
disaster.
down. It was
Yeah.
only the new stuff. It
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's
Well,
like,
they tried to reinvent the IP
Star
and make
Wars
it a
is
whole thing.
built. Everything that we see in 2024 is built on our love and our fandom. Like you don't need to fucking like erase our history. You know, we loved Luke Skywalker, and we know they get older and stuff, but like you don't need to like. I don't know. I'd sound like a crazy person because I just want to live in the past. That's the truth. Is I don't like getting old. I don't like anything new. I'm 50, but I feel like I've been a crotchety old Jew for the past 40 years. I only want to live in the late 70s and like 80s. That's it. I don't care about anything else. Take away all the technology. I don't care.
But that's the part about it that I'm trying to figure out because when they did Mandalorian,
Yeah.
Mandalorian was great.
Mandalorian was
I really
great.
enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. But then they tried to do Boba Fett, right? And I had this argument with I had this discussion with my friend because my friend and I were both going, Boba Fett fucking sucked, man. That was horrible.
It was
and I
the
said,
worst.
And I said, well, the problem was they did the Mandalorian, and the Mandalorian was what Boba Fett. We all thought Boba Fett was.
Yeah.
But you can't do Mandalorian and then do Boba Fett and have it be in the same universe. So you
because
had to
they-
do something else with it.
Boba Fett got good when Mandalorian came on the fucking show.
Yeah.
Boba Fett, who's the baddest motherfucker in the galaxy,
Yeah.
is like some whiny bitch who like doesn't do anything. Just like an Obi-Wan is the baddest motherfucking Jedi, and he's like getting his ass kicked by everyone. He's like, I haven't used the Force in fucking forever, so I'm a bitch now. And it's like, no, guy, you're Obi-fucking-Wan Kenobi. Like, do your thing.
And that's Obi-Wan in his prime. That's
totally.
when he was
He's
supposed
like,
to be
yeah,
in
I'm
his
gonna
prime.
fucking.
Yeah.
In 77, he was an old fart and he still had the power.
Yeah, he fucked up Darth Maul. And I don't look. I'm a skier. I know how to ski. I used to race in college. If I'm not on a ski mountain for fucking 15 years and go skiing, guess what? I know how to ski. And I can ski pretty well.
When you get on the ski lift, your legs still do this.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
go
yeah.
like this.
No, they still go like that.
Oh, do they go like this
And
now?
my mentality is like this happened to me because I hadn't skied like for like 10 years or something, and I went to the fucking slopes and I skied. I raced in college slalom and giant slalom. I grew up skiing. I love fucking skiing, but I hadn't done it in so long. I'm like, I don't know how to fucking ski anymore. I put the skis on. I'm like, oh, this feels kind of fucking normal. Second, I got off the chair. I'm like, like it does riding a bike.
Right back.
The saying is there. If I'm a fucking Jedi and it's in my blood because of fucking midichlorians, it doesn't go away. So they made Obi-Wan a bitch. They made fucking Boba Fett a bitch. Yeah. They're just ruining.
But where did they? I mean, at what point did they go wrong? Because it isn't like they're doing.
I tell you where they went wrong.
It isn't that woke thing. Because it isn't that woke thing. It's that it seems like they've got so much stuff going on. John, sorry, yes.
It went wrong. What is the second movie of the new trilogy?
Oh, the last Jedi.
The Last Jedi, when Luke Skywalker tossed the lightsaber over his shoulder.
Well, that was. Oh yeah, that was.
I'll tell you where they went wrong is in that original one when she fucking goes on the rock and Luke's there, and they had this. And I don't remember exactly what happens, but the last scene of that first new Star, The Force Awakens, had the perfect opportunity to do a fucking like force grab like lightsaber thing to like be like, oh shit, I don't remember if it was Luke or her.
Yeah.
And they threw that away, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be bad.
Yeah. What?
It was in the snow, on the mountain.
What?
The last scene.
Yeah, Empire Strikes Back in the snow.
No.
1983 is
I'm just trying to.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I'm glad you tried to participate.
Good job.
Yeah,
Good job.
I'm trying.
But I mean, my thing is
Because
for
Ryan
you,
Johnson said we're gonna subvert expectations.
Well,
We're
but
gonna
he
change the
it seemed
story.
it seemed like he blew it up just for the sake of blowing it
Yeah.
up. And I understand what he was doing, sort of, kind of, but he blew it up and then didn't know where the fuck he was gonna go with it, and so it just sort of meandered around, and then all of us, the fans, go, "What the hell is
What are you
this?"
doing?
And so then J.J. Abrams comes back, goes, I'll fix this thing, and then he brings back all this stuff that we go, okay, that was in the fourth one. Okay, wait, that
totally.
came in the sixth one. Okay, wait, this is happening in the TV series. Okay, wait, and it was just strange because
It's very hard.
these are guys who are as invested in Star Wars as we are. They are
100%.
fans. When Dave Filoni helped with The Mandalorian, I think he and Jon Favreau single-handedly sort of made us go, okay, I think we're in good hands because these guys are fans and they're creating this thing.
Yeah.
And then it all of a
Listen
sudden
to Dave Filoni interviews.
just went fucking I don't know where.
Yeah,
And
I
went,
think so. When you see things like that, they're taking like so for Mandalorian, right?
Yeah.
They're taking a species of character, and we're learning about them,
Right.
And then we're learning about this one guy, and that's a good way to do it, right?
Right.
When you're watching Furiosa, right? We're learning about Furiosa and where she came from and her people and her journey, and that's good. But
And-
then when we see the movie, what was the one with the Kessel? What the fuck was the name of the Star Wars movie that they Red One? No, what was the movie?
Oh,
where-
Rogue One.
Rogue One.
Yeah.
Who cares? Like
Everybody dies.
everyone dies, right? So it doesn't matter. I already know that they get the plans.
Yeah.
So that's a bad way to fucking do that, And then when they have these new shows coming on, and you're just changing everything, and it just doesn't even feel like Star Wars. It happens with Star Trek too.
It's not that they went like Furiosa. They're doing a side thing, right? with another you're learning about another portion of the world.
Totally.
But it didn't shit on the current portion of the world.
Yeah,
She didn't go
correct.
like, well, Mad Max was a bitch. So that's why
Mad Max wasn't mad. He was misunderstood.
yeah.
Misunderstood Max.
So that's why that can work, right?
Yeah,
so
totally.
it just seems like Star Wars, every time they start a new thing, the original character gets shit on. That's the part that's screwing it
You
up.
can't diss on the OGs.
You can't. You really can't. I mean, the reason all of these things exist today is because we made it stay alive.
Yeah.
Every single person that loves these franchises or IPs, you're still making them. The reason you're making superhero movies is because people like us, I bought comic books.
Right.
And I kept it alive. If no one bought comic books, they would have died. There'd be no superhero movies.
And it seems like that's the reason why, like the X-Men movie, when it first came out.
Yeah.
Bryan Singer did an okay job, but I was like, what? Why is Iceman in this? He's not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
That's too... Wait, why is Beast... Like, the X-Men that we remember weren't the X-Men. It was this X-Men from that generation and that
They, like,
generation.
mishmashed them
and they
together.
mishmashed it together. And I went, wait, what's it? And everybody's shiny. What's with the all-leather outfits? I don't get it.
So, but you know what makes it work for me? Like in that instance, it's like
Yeah.
when they're on the airplane and he's like, what do you want us all to be in spandex? When Logan says that. So when they poke fun and they nod,
yeah.
that's what in the Fast and Furious movies. In the last one or 2 ones ago, is it Ludacris? Is that who's in the movie?
Yeah.
He's like, doesn't anyone think that this is strange? That these things keep happening and that are like,
Right.
and he's literally just becoming totally self-aware in the middle of this movie, saying that this is all impossible to be happening. And everyone else is like, yeah, whatever. I love when they do shit like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Then it makes it okay when they do the things when they're like, why is this team part of this team? You know?
Right.
I like when self-awareness is cool.
A little bit
Yeah.
of self-awareness is okay.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. Thank you for our 10 minutes.
Yeah.
we still don't like the Acolyte and.
Yeah, so Acolyte is, I watched the first 2 episodes and then just started seeing all the shit about the 3rd episode being the worst thing that Star Wars has ever put on. And I'm like, maybe now I don't even need to watch
What
it.
about Ahsoka? Did you like Ahsoka?
I watched it,
Yeah.
and I think I liked it, but I don't care so much. Here's my problem of all of it, is I read Dark Empire years ago. It's one of my favorite things. It's a comic book that about Luke Skywalker. In order to understand the dark side of the Force, he embraces the dark side of the Force. And there's so much cool shit that the dark side does, and they just don't ever fucking explore it. And you never see the light side of the Force doing anything so great. Everything cool that happens in Star Wars happens from one of the bad guys using the Force. Nothing cool ever happens with the light guys. Like, I read Harry Potter and see all these Harry Potter movies. He never becomes the fucking apex wizard that I want him to become. You know?
Yeah.
And you're building up these series and you're like, if you're going to make Star Wars and the light side is the badass fucking thing, someone needs to awaken something and it be the badass.
Yeah.
Show me that, because you haven't done that yet, and it still explores it. Harry Potter, make him the fucking god wizard that, this legend
He was
is based
supposed to
on.
be,
Yeah.
Interesting.
I guess maybe he became it when he defeated Voldemort.
He didn't, though.
Yeah, but then he threw it away.
Yeah, he's just a bitch.
When he beats
I don't know, I fell
Voldemort. He
asleep.
has
You're right, because Darth Maul was a very, very popular
He was
Greatest
badass.
character
Yeah, he was
ever.
badass.
100%.
All the bad guys
Yeah,
have
all
the
the
cool
bad-
lightsabers.
yeah.
Right?
Cool lightsabers, do the cool shit. General Grievous has like fucking millions of lightsabers. Darth Vader in what was the show when he fucking grabs the fucking ship?
Yeah.
Was it in Obi-Wan or whatever it was?
Yeah.
And just pulls it to the. You're like,
Yeah.
even in the comic books, there's like the Darth Vader comic book is amazing, and he fucking kills everyone. It's so good. And then the light guys are just like floating there and like, I fucking have a beard and a bad wig in fucking the Acolyte show and kill myself for some dumb It was so bad. This new Acolyte Star Wars show, there's a Jedi, they go to this Jedi temple, and the dude's like sitting there cross-legged floating, fucking like a genie, and he has this like beard that looks like it's pubic hair like glued onto his face, and he has this weird like receding hairline like hairdo that looks like a wig that looks horrible, and then something fucking happens which they'll explain, or I don't know, and he fucking kills himself instead of like battling this chick. And I think it's because he like let people die, or who fucking cares? And you're just like,
What a pussy.
what a pussy! Do something cool than just float there.
You can float there all this time and no do shit?
Don't do shit.
What the hell, man?
Turn it off. Fucking Disney.
Yeah.
But I will say that I can't wait for Deadpool to come out.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be great. I watched Loki, which I think you have to watch in order to understand the TVA, which is the time variation.
I watched the first. I didn't watch the second.
That's really
season.
good. You should watch it.
Okay. So much to watch. Feels like
Listen, guys, it has been a pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Like, I gotta wrap it up.
Don't
All right.
diss on the OG.
Don't dis-
Don't diss on
Our
OG. That's
takeaway from today's episode of High Sessions, brought to you by Fort Ruger Market and the
Arby's.
Arby's
And Kupu Kupu Landscaping.
and who's the guys that do the forklifts and stuff.
Kupu Kupu Landscaping.
Yep, Kupu Landscaping. The takeaway is that the older generation is way cooler than the newer generation.
That's right.
That's right.
Thanks,
you.
everybody.
Thank you,
We'll see
Tory.
next week.